Hello there, Big Benedict here. We're playing Ninja Gaiden 2 on the Series X, and this is my Master Ninja Difficulty Gaiden walkthrough. We're currently on Chapter 14 of 14. It is entitled Poisoned Blood. Well, first of all, let me say thank you very much for watching the walkthrough, and I'm hoping that it will help new players and, intermediate players. The first room over here, you might notice that I have the scythe. So I'm going to be using a combination of the scythe and the windmill shuriken over here. There's a corpse right here that has a devil mushroom on it. It's important not to overbuy. This only applies if you don't have much money. Try not to overbuy any supplies, because in addition to this room that has that devil mushroom, in the next room where you fight the centaurs, there's another corpse that has a devil mushroom. And then right outside the door that you go into to fight Genshin, there is an herb. So it's also very important that once you use all of the Nimpo that you start out with, it's perfectly fine to max out your inventory of mushrooms. But just bear in mind that there's a chest right outside the Genshin door that has a full replenishment of your Nimpo. So it would be a big waste of money if you use your devil mushrooms to max out your key gauge. It's just not necessary, and it's a waste of money. So go hog wild on the centaurs. You deserve it. And since they're such a shitty enemy, they deserve what's coming to them, for sure. But do you see how we have no magic left? That's perfectly fine, because you want to get over to that Genshin door having no magic in your key gauge, so that you can just get the Nimpo for free. So there's also some arrows in here, and I went through this this blood lake over here, and I didn't get bit. So go figure. I think I did it twice, actually. And the only advice I can give you is kind of just strafe back and forth. There might be some frame advantage type of things you could do on this, but it's pretty god-awful that they make you do that. Here's the chest that I said had the Nimpo, so that's right there. And then I'm not sure if I'm going to go over to the corpse on the other side, but it does have that. I guess I'm not. It does have the herb right over to my right. So for Genshin, I would equip the Tonfa, and I'm exclusively going to be doing the 360Y with the Tonfa, because Genshin, it has a wide character profile, and his other incarnations, the 3 times we fought him before, he wasn't. His character profile wasn't as wide, so it was easier to miss these 360Ys. But not so with him, because he's got, like I said, such a wide profile. So he is going to be throwing these flaming shurikens, and I also would equip. Here, folks, I would equip a Talisman of Rebirth. You're not going to need anything on Elizabeth, because we're going to loop her again. But when he jumps and throws the flaming shurikens, make sure you jump into that attack so that he doesn't hit you. And just let him run up to you, and he'll literally fall into your 360 Y Tonfa. The Y counter works really well too. You deal a lot of damage on this guy. You can also do forward Y with the Tonfa. Wow, that's really good damage. It's fantastic. He does have a throw that, with our health, he can outright kill us. But I was looking at my inventory, like when I was on the stage, and I had not used my the Life of the Gods that you accrue throughout the game. I hadn't even used those, and I had also 7 Lives of the Thousand Gods. So a lot of these fights, for me, they're quite difficult because I only have 1 upgrade beyond base health. So, and what I also like to, there we go. What I like to do is on the final boss, I don't like to go into the menu a lot and use my lives of 1,000 gods. I like to just quickly go into my my quick select menu and just use what I have on hand, because it's a lot faster than having to go into a menu all the time. So he should almost be dead, and then once he is dead, it's going to switch you over to the Blade of the Archfiend, level 4. You can use that to fly swallow Elizabeth if you want to. You can also use the talons to fly swallow her, but I prefer the good old dragon sword. And so you do get a checkpoint, which is nice. You know, it's really nice that they do that. So from the Blade of the Archfiend, if you do want to select the dragon sword, just select it. You have to select it every time you start the fight, unfortunately. So we're just looking to knock her down out of the air, and then quickly switch to the Vigorian flail, and then loop her with XXY. And then that's it for her. I've never liked this boss. I think it's an unfair boss because of the amount of iframes that they gave her. So I have no sympathy for this particular boss. I think it's a waste of a boss, and it's contemptible too. The whole thing is contemptible. Okay, so for Zidonius, I thought that you know the run up to Zidonius, where you go down 2 halls and you face purple and gold Van Gelfs. I thought that if you killed all of those enemies on those 2 halls, I thought that the first fight you do with him, he doesn't have the lackeys, but I don't think that's the case. In fact, I know it's the case because I remember seeing them now. So you do not have to, well, do whatever you want. I mean, you can kill them if you want. I would equip the incendiary shurikens over here and the Falcon's Talons. The reason I have the Falcon's Talons on here is to do forward wire on these guys. Also, do you know how Zidonius goes up into the air a lot and you can't hit him? Well, there's a move that you can do, and it didn't work out for me that I was able to use it, because I was just out of range every time that he went up there. And I think he spent a lot of the time on the ground too, which was helpful actually. But he will, if you can lock onto him, if you're close enough to him, with the Falcon's Talons, you press XX forward XXX, and he'll do that bird of vermilion something. Look in the menu if you want to know the name, but it's like something vermilion bird or something, and it teleports Ryu up to did I say Zidonius? I think I said that before earlier in the walkthrough. I'm sorry. His name's not Zidonius, it's Dagra Dai, and it's a shit boss. It really is. But you teleport up there with that particular move, and you could deal him a lot of damage. And it's a great way of getting. I think one of the only ways to get up there. You can use the scythe though if you want to. I am going to switch to the scythe because when he is on the ground and he's shooting his electricity, you have a couple of options. You can use the 360Y with the Dragon's Claw and Tiger's Fang, and you could also do the jumping attack, the air Y attack with the scythe. I prefer the latter, and I'll tell you the reason why. The reason I prefer the latter is because you start out in the air with that attack. See, I'm trying to do it right there. That would have been a good opportunity to do XX forward, XXX. It might be XX forward, XXXX. I'm not sure. There's also another move called, well, I don't know what the name of it is, but it's XX forward, XXXY. But if you are trying to get iframes on him when he's on the ground using the Dragon's Claw and Tiger's Fang, you invariably have to start on the ground for that move startup. And the ground is full of damage and AoE damage, so it's hard to get that move going. So I prefer, because you have to start on the ground, and the ground's covered with damage. So if you do the jumping Y attack with the scythe, you're not going to be on the ground. You're not going to be getting damage that way. You probably deal them a little less damage, but it's not any type of damage that you can't be proud of, because it's a decent amount of damage. So just jump. It's maybe more than decent. But do you see how if I wanted to use the Dragon's Claw Tiger's Fang, I'd have to start down here and do my rotate Y on the ground. So there he is, for better or worse. And now we've got the Archfiend. So you'll want to equip the well, I'm equipping the Dragon's Claw and Tiger's Fang, not because we need it on the boss, but because I like to use it on the final form of the Archfiend. And when I was doing this, I was thinking there really is no reason to get hit on this boss. But then I went through this a couple times, and it's a long fight. It's just really drawn out. But the key here is to get your on-landing charges after he spits his blood, because every arrow UT that you do to him, it will cancel out his attack. You always need to be blocking when he does this, because his tail can hit you at that point. But the hardest thing about, and this is why I decided, I'm not doing no damage, because it's just too long of a fight, and I don't want to mess around with it. But the hardest and most deceptive part of the fight is knowing when to first attack him with an arrow UT, because sometimes, like, he's not ready for you to hit him, and your arrow UT is just it'll hit him, but it's not gonna deal any damage, and then he could retaliate by doing a real quick attack that you can't have enough. You won't have enough time to charge your bow, and then you'll have to deal with his attack. Anytime you come up to this arena, see this? I'm trying to look for a tell to see what he's going to do. I'm just waiting for his tell, his opening tell, meaning that I can shoot him. So you shoot him once with the arrow UT, you jump to the left or to the right, depending on where the blood is, and then you get your on landing. You do that and you repeat ad nauseum. But I'm not too familiar with his signposts. Sometimes it looks like you can hit him, and again, looks can be deceiving for sure, but I think it also has to do with his position on the rocks too. Like when he starts climbing, I think that's when you can hit him. But I think the safest thing to do, you all, is just be on the lookout for when he's doing his first attack, because his attack is not so fast that your arrow UT is going to miss, not be able to shoot him in time, because your arrow is so fast. It's anyway, let's take a look here. So I'm waiting. Can I hit him or not? It's ambiguous, and I don't like that ambiguity. So let's just wait for him to do an attack. He's spitting the blood, I think. Yeah, that's where I got hit. But it's okay. I've no damaged him once before. And what I was saying about there is no reason to get hit on this guy. Well, there is and there isn't, because, he's just difficult to figure out his signpost. It truly is. Oh, here's where I noticed. I guess I didn't get all the Life of the Gods. Aren't there 8 and 8? I don't know why I have 17. Even 8 and 8 would be 16. I have no idea. I believe me, I have no fucking idea what's going on there. But I was looking at that. I'm like, I haven't even used my regular Life of the Gods pickups. It's odd. And you'll be intimately familiar with this setting if you've done one of the challenges where, and I'm surprised they don't have archers at every step over here impeding your way like they do in that challenge. It's called like the defeat the castle or something challenge. I've not done it yet. Not for trying though, but let's see. Can we hit him or not? It has to do with his hands and his positioning and how high he is up on the rocks. But the thing is, he doesn't have any moves that are going to like the blood cough. You don't need to worry about that. His laser beam takes off a lot, but you can cancel. I like how you can cancel all of his attacks. I really do. But I thought he was easier than he is, and he's not easy. I mean, he's far from difficult, but he's difficult because of that ambiguity. And again, the reason why I have the Dragon's Claw and Tiger's Fang is because I think it's a great weapon to use on the final form of the Archfiend. And so for that boss, we're going to be attacking him very carefully, and you really need to get the timing of his arm slam attacks, because he's going to be doing these attacks where he slams one of his fists onto the ground up to 4 times. Sometimes he does it 2 or 3 or 4 times. So you need to be careful of that and acquire the timing. All the timing requires, though, is to get comfortable with the reverse wind. All you need to do to not take damage from his arm pound, his hand pound, is to do the reverse wind. However, like if you miss the timing of that, you can get juggled by subsequent arm pounds. So here he is over here. I messed it up at first because, well, just things happen. On the laser beam attack, you need to iframe through it with the reverse wind. So dodge, 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 dodge. And stay to the left of his right arm. His right arm being the one that we're next to now. And just do a couple hits. Never go to the right side of his right hand, because then he can potentially grab you. And I just like doing Y attacks. Just keep it simple with the Y attacks. And again, don't get too carried away ever with your attacks, because if you get carried away, then you might not have enough time to iframe through the laser. And if you get too carried away when he's about to do his ground pound, then you can get juggled and staggered and easily die, because it takes a hell of a lot of weight, those punches that he does. When he flies out like this, he does have an electric AoE on the ground, but it's quite fair. So actually what I would do is just wait for him to do a move. Like, just go over to the location I am. Don't start hitting him, because if you start hitting him, he could start pounding, and then that's going to mess you up. So just wait until he starts pounding, and then when he stops, attack him, 3 to 4 times. And I like this weapon because it's controlled, and it's nice and safe, and it does, well, I was gonna say it does good damage, but since this is the final boss, they kind of neuter the damage output on some of these weapons. And I've seen a fight with somebody who was doing this fight, and he stayed here the whole time. He never flew up. He does throw craters. He does a dash, so stay on one side there or the other, depending on where he is. So I just do 2 hits, like 2, maybe 3 quick hits like that. Just 1, 2, 3, dash through it, get back up here and just wait. That was a mistake on my part. That was fully my mistake. I was stupid right there. I don't know why I did that shit. And I messed up again because I was distracted by, I think I was looking at my inventory, wasn't I? But we've got we've got so many healing items and so many lives of 1,000 gods here that it's not going to matter. But it is more important to get comfortable with the boss than to be too reliant on heals, you know. I do like when he does this. I do the ground-based 360Y with the because you can get a respectable amount of damage on him. And these craters that he does, I don't know. I think he was transitioning from flying there to landing, and I got caught. I got caught out. So I'm gonna use my life with 1,000 gods. I think I still have got 5 left. Shouldn't have to use any more. But if we do, it's not a big deal. Another mistake. You need to get to him quickly as well. So make sure that you're always looking for his signpost of when he's going to land. And right now, never stay to the wrong side of his hand. You'll pay the price dearly. And this fight is hard at first, but the more you get comfortable, it's mostly getting comfortable with the reverse wind when he's doing his ground pound. So there it is. We finished him off. I decided to just finish him off with the Dragon's Claw and Tiger's Fang since we used it and it was, helpful to us while we were fighting him. And that is it. All chapters have been cleared. I really hope that you enjoyed the walkthrough and appreciated the sentimental nature of the walkthrough. Because I mentioned in the beginning that I made this walkthrough because it got an upgrade on the enhanced features, and it got 4K treatment and 120 hertz love, and but more importantly, I do hope that you were able to get through the game without too many struggles, and to realize that there's no need to grind for money. The most important thing is putting in the time and getting comfortable with the game, because it's not an easy game. It's a ruthless game most of the time, or maybe even all the time. But that has been the walkthrough. Hope you liked it. I enjoyed making it. I enjoyed coming back to it after so many years, and being able to enjoy the treatment that the game got, and play it at the highest quality that it currently exists at. So I'm gonna leave you for now, but not before I wish you to take care. And I'm not sure what my next project will be. I don't want to commit to anything. I would like to do the challenges on this game, but the mission mode. But I don't want to commit to anything right now. But I do want to commit to telling you to take care, and I will see you in my next project. So until we see each other again, please take care.